Tommy Heffernan here, and I'm here in Salient you're going to have to pronounce it for me.
Salesian Agricultural College.
Salesian Agricultural College with Rachel McNamara, the operations manager. Rachel, thanks for having me down here it's this afternoon now. I was going to say this morning.
Thanks very much for coming down, Tommy. It's great to have you here.
Okay, it's an operational farm, which we're going to talk about as well, but obviously it's an agricultural college. Will you tell people, I suppose, first of all, who you are, and a little bit about your role here?
Yeah. So my name is Rachel McNamara. I'm the farm operations manager here in the college, and also I would deliver skills to level 5 and level 6 students in the agricultural college, completing the Green Cert.
Tell people a little bit about the size of the agricultural college. What type of students are coming through here?
Yeah, so I suppose we've over 250 full-time students. They're on the level 5 and a level 6 course, so they can do the advanced dairy course, and we also have advanced dry stock course. And then also we have the machinery side of it then as well. So we agriculture, engineering, and mechanisation in the college as well.
The college is a really good name. The calves are eating me here in the background, right? What's the kind of, I suppose, the big thing here that when you drive on, and this is my second time down here, is the scale of the dairy farm here itself. And I know there's other elements to the farm as well, but it's a fully operational dairy farm. Give people some perspective on the size of the farm here.
Yeah, so I suppose we run a commercial farm here, linked, I suppose, we provide an education to students, and I suppose we provide for distant education students as well, where we've nearly over 700 students enrolled in the distant education as well. Grazing a 550 acre farm, where we're milking, I suppose at the moment we're milking 415 cows, and we'd have a calf to beef system as well, a dairy calf to beef system. We've about 50 weanlings there at the moment, and then we run a mid-season lambing flock as well of 100 ewes.
Okay, so like most farms, I've come here, it is the middle-ish of April. Cows are out and should be out grazing, but it's been very wet. So you're seeing the same challenges here, I suppose, as everywhere else.
Absolutely, Tommy. Yeah, so grass is the cheapest source of feed. So I suppose that's our main diet here in the college. So I suppose cows are out they went out around the 30th of January this year. Once we had a small group of cows calved, they went to grass. And I suppose we've had a good run of it in February. We were really spoiled with the weather, and I suppose cows were out night and day then. And they're mostly out night and day. I suppose the weather has changed there the last few days. They were in for a couple of days, but thankfully they're back out to grass now today. So yeah.
Hopefully the weather pushes on. I'm down here, I suppose, from a Precision Microbes perspective, and that's the last time I visited yourself and Derek. I was chatting with you. Again, I think Derek, I won't say you, but a little bit of skepticism around Precision Microbes. We'll get to the Precision Microbes experience in a bit, but can you just talk through, I know you're very passionate about calves, and you have a very nice system here. A lot of cows calving, a lot of calves coming. So can you just kind of talk to people? It's an education facility, but it's also an operational farm. What are kind of the top things you're doing here around calf health? What are the key things that you do to get the best out of the calves?
Yeah, calf health starts really earlier on before the cow even calves. So I suppose good vaccination program is, I suppose, it's key. We vaccinate for a lot of things here in the college. So I suppose we're vaccinating for IBR, Salmonella, BVG, Lepto, Rotavac, and we'll be vaccinating for pneumonia as well. So we would have a strong vaccination program.
So healthy herd of cows?
Yes, definitely. And they always, I suppose, test the silage as well, say during the dry cow period. And then also cows would be getting their dry cow mineral and their CalMag as well for milk fever prevention for when they do calve down, to get the best colostrum from the cow when they calve. So what we do then, Tommy, is I suppose we're calving on a peat bedding, as you would have seen in our calving shed. And what we do then is every calf gets 3 to 4 litres of colostrum. So I suppose the guide is 10% of the calf's body weight. So all calves would be weighed as they're born, I suppose, to give the better indication of what exactly to feed. So what we do then, I suppose, we test the cows yearly for iones and neospora. So any cow that has iones is culled, so we know that all colostrum is safe to give to all calves, that we're not watching, to segregate colostrum or anything like that. So what we do then, Tommy, is we keep a store of colostrum, a fresh store of colostrum.
I saw that in your fridge down there, yeah.
Yeah, so I suppose what we generally use is, I suppose, the 4-litre double Ziploc bags, where we put it into our water bath then to heat for the calf when it's born.
Okay.
So every calf would be stomach tubed for the first feed, to make sure, I suppose, we get it in within, I say every calf is nearly stomach tubed within the first half an hour of being born.
Are you able to do that because of having students here, or is it just the general principles, general rule? I'm sure as a training college with students, there's challenges, but there's also, have you more hands-on to help with that type of approach?
So I suppose we've 3 full-time workers here on the farm, and then we'd have students here in the springtime working on the farm as well to help out with calving.
So is there plenty of help around calving time?
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. Yeah, there is. So we'd have cover in the yard 24 hours for the whole calving season.
Okay. One of the things I liked, again, and I'll show a picture of it, is your little warming box, I would call it, for calves. I think that's very, very nice.
Yeah, it is.
So you warm up calves there, and then they're transported to various calf housing.
Yeah, so the calf gets its first feed in that warming box. So the calf stays in that warming until it's dried, and every calf gets a calf jacket, after being born, once they've dried off. And what we did this year, actually, Tommy, was we'd give another feed, say, of transition milk in that hot box before they're moved to a calf house.
And when they go onto the calf house, they're going on to automatic feeders, automatic feeders in different houses pretty quickly.
Yes, they are. So it's 2 feeds in a hot box. You get your colostrum and 1 feed of transition milk, and then it's onto milk powder. Okay.
And I suppose if we talk about this shed here, and we talk a little bit about your experience with Precision Microbes, when I came down, this is the heifer shed here.
Yep.
They are actually on it for now. It's probably I said 2 weeks. It's a good few. It's probably 6 or 8 weeks since I was down.
6 weeks.
Yeah, since I was down here. How have these calves done on it on long-term use?
Yeah, so no, we've definitely seen a huge improvement in calves. I suppose this shed here, you'd house 100 calves. We have 25 calves in each pen. I've definitely seen a huge improvement in the calves since using the Precision Microbes. I suppose we did get cryptosporidium in calves this year, and I definitely think it helped the calves recover from that sickness.
Okay.
We have left some calves out at the moment, and I suppose as we're leaving them out, we are weighing them as well. So we have seen the calves have, I suppose, doubled in weight since birth. So they are achieving their target.
The other thing you've done is, because you've put it through the automated feeder here for the long-term feeding, is you've been using it, like most farms, you've the challenge of cryptosporidium is something that's come in a bigger farm. Despite all the work around hygiene and colostrum, it does happen. But you're using it, helping calves recover that aren't on it all the time. How are you finding that?
Yeah, so first thing I do when I come in the morning, Tommy, would be I'd go to the calf feeder, and I'd check to see what calves have drank and what calves haven't drank. And I suppose you'd have the odd couple of calves that may have missed a period or may not have drank their full allocation in that time period. And what I would do then is, once I've identified that calf, had a look at her, she may not have scour, so I give her a dose of 60 ml of the Precision Microbes. And I suppose what I do see, it increases the calf's appetite to come back to the feeder and I suppose drink her 2 litres of allocation in that period.
Have you seen reduction in sort of antibiotic interventions? Is that one of the things you've said to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I suppose we are treating just a couple of calves at the moment, and I suppose what I've actually done, Tommy, is we'd be given 2 litres of electrolytes, I suppose, at a time. And what I actually do for when we're given electrolytes, I suppose once a day, I'd put 60 ml of the Precision Microbes into the electrolytes.
Okay.
And that has definitely helped. So I suppose there's calves there that I suppose are recovering. And are recovering quickly, but have got no antibiotic intervention.
Good. Look, you're doing a super job here. I suppose for students and people looking at it, is there open days coming up? Is there an open day in June or July? As you were saying to me last time I was down.
Yeah, there is. So we've our open day in June, Saturday the 24th of June.
Okay, Saturday 24th of June. And how can people, younger people, find out more about the college and what you're doing here? And you have to tell them, of course, why they need to come to this agricultural college.
Yeah, so I suppose we have a website, www.solutionag.com, and also I suppose we'd have regular updates on the college on our Facebook page and on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, very good. You're on all the platforms. You're on all social media.
Yeah, we are.
Brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
Super. Rachel, thanks so much for your time. Continued success down here. And look, I know I've met some of the team the last time and today again. It's a great facility. There's a real passion around what you're doing. It's a very commercial farm, and you're constantly pushing forward. And I think you're like a lot of farms, you're not finished. You're looking for the next step up of what you can do. So it's been a pleasure to be down and be involved with you, and continued success. And thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Tommy.